Yo, this is how you make some gold. Go to your instances, which is down here in the bottom right. You go to dungeons, scroll down, area farm. You click recruit, search, recruit, and then you go to quick enter. This will get you in the dungeons really quick. You won't be waiting in a queue in that. If you just click the normal enter button, you'll be waiting a while and you might get queued up with like random people. So I'm in Whalesong because I picked up my my buff. It's like strength of the faction, but you can grab it anytime if you have residents of one of the new zones where they added all the housing. Dungeons unlocked. Yeah, get strength from the faction. It gives you a bit more damage to kill the bosses and gives you a bit of gives you loot drop and a bit less received damage. So 150 labor. So as soon as you load in, you just start running. You don't have to wait for this timer or anything. So the buffs we're running, the strength of the faction or community buff. We got a loot drop one. If you're just here for Archeums, you don't need to worry about that. So you run through here. You run. I run like onto this like kind of eye thing. Stealth. Wait for these stacks to go up to 10. The magic circle, insulating lens, meteor strike. God's whip here, and then into arc lightning. And then he dies. Loot him. Run between the trees so you don't aggro that mob back there. You don't want to aggro him. These mobs like spawn in, but they don't aggro because they don't reach. This guy will like throw some stuff at me and then dive on me if he hits me. No, okay. We're fine. So we just keep on running. Run past the boss and then you just stealth here. I'm gonna go back over to here. Get your stacks up to 10. Magic circle. I don't use shield for this, I don't need to. This dude will either die. Yeah, okay, so he's died straight away. Sometimes he doesn't die straight away. He sometimes summons these tombstones and they spawn these like mobs and they do big damage. You have to just you just interact with them and you press F or whatever the main key is. When you run up here, so there's a bunch of mobs that'll appear when you run through here. There's like different like triggers. So if you run kind of up at the bridge and then run up here, you won't trigger anything. Sometimes they aggro, and then you just have to run over here and stealth. There is another like trigger in here. There's invisible like areas in the map that'll take you out of stealth. Like if I run here, see, it'll take me out of stealth. So you just have to be aware of if you're running through here and you stealth just before you get here, you might not lose aggro. Now the trigger for this guy is like kind of around like this area here. He'll just stand there for ages unless you trigger the bit. So it's just around there. So here, when he's coming down, now our stealth's on cooldown. Usually if we didn't stealth there, we'd have stealth here. And we'd stealth up just to get some more damage. So zoom the camera out. Okay, so things should spawn up here. There'll be like a circle on the ground. And then you just God's Whip into Meteor Strike. And that should kill him. Loot him and then just get out of the instance. And do it over again. So just register. So this is my build I'm using. Oromancy is good for meditate. You can like restore your mana because you're running. You can restore your mana as you're doing like a bunch of these. And it's also good. It can take your cooldowns of all your skills down when once you finish the channel. So if you like stealth and then you're waiting for it to go on cooldown or something, like if you're like lower gear score or something, you can meditate and it'll bring your cooldowns down a little bit quicker. So we'll go through this one more time and I'll go through the skills a bit proper. So you just run. Don't need to wait for the timer. So as you get here, you can stealth. So we're kind of like mana's like going down. After so many runs, you'll like run out of mana. So once your stack's at 10, hold meditate, magic circle, and pop your shield. At like 5 seconds, you can start casting your meteor strike and God's whip into lightning. Your God's whip will like probably just kill him as well if he's still alive. I'm at 9k gear score, so like if you're higher, it'll be easier. If you get aggroed, you can use Comet's Boon here just to get away from the mobs. There are ones that like dive on you, and trip you. So that's how you do it. So Magic Circle, Meteor Strike. So he didn't get hit by all of them. So see this tombstone that spawned? You just interact with it and it dies. Here's another one. So you just make sure you kill those if they're spawning. Run at the bridge a little bit and then just walk off the edge here and jump up this cliff. And then you're here. You can meditate here while you're waiting. And you can trash this pet gear. Faster way, if you got like heaps of it and you're not doing this, you can just sell it to the vendor. That's a quicker way than crashing it. And you get, each dungeon you get 3 weapons. And this here is a good time to break them down. Each boss drops a weapon which gives you between 2 and 4 sunlight crystals. So here, what I usually do, I'll stealth. If meditate's up, I'll sometimes use it here while I'm waiting. Like once your stacks are full, like you can meditate because you got time to chill. Don't hit him. That's one thing because you'll lose your stacks, so you'll lose a bit of damage. So now we're just chilling. We're looking around. Okay, so you'll see the dialogue box, and a circle will spawn around that area. So God's whip into Meteor Strike. Grab the loot and get out of the dungeon. Okay, so here's the build. I used lightning, flame bolts, insulating lens, arc lightning, God's whip, wave God's whip. So that's sorcery. So this one is like instead of this is what it does. I'll just show you. So you just click it once, and it'll summon these like clouds, lightning cloud things, and it'll just struck lightning down there. So you can cast it before you channel your like arc lightning or your meteor strike. and it'll be a second before it damages. So you can cast it and not aggro a boss and still have time to like cast your Meteor Strike. So it's kind of good. And Meteor Strike, you want Wave Meteor Strike, so that's this one here. You'll get this little circle here, and it'll you get these sort of things of water or ice like flying down. So that's like the best thing for bosses. And then we have Oromancy. So we have teleport, teleport lightning. So that's just this one here. You just have a chance. There's a 42% chance to not trigger the cooldown. So that's kind of good. Comet Spoon is kind of useful just for a bit more speed. Like if you're trying to run through mobs, you can get through there and meditate. And then here, just backdrop and stealth are the main ones you can use. Stalker's Mark is tricky because because you're opening with Meteor Strike, like you can Stalker's Mark after you Meteor Strike and that. Like if you're a low gear, if you've got low gear and stuff, you can do that. Free runner I don't really use. Like I could change these, but you could change it to the normal one that doesn't slow you at the end, and that's also fine. But you can't dash when you're under the effect of free runner. So this is what you use only if you get stuck in combat. Overwhelm, I just have this just cause. Yeah. And another thing, when you do your 3, so you get 3 a day, you can do for free. And then you can reset them. You want to like reset like 4 times. 3 or 4 times is fine. So you go to your general merchant here. These 30 gold ones. So you just buy a few of those. And then you reset the dungeon. And then your retries goes back to 0. Now your next reset will cost 2 scrolls, and then your third will cost 3, and it goes up. So you only do like 3 or 4 resets depending on like, the more you're doing, the less gold you're making because you're spending more gold on reset scrolls. So there's a point where you stop doing it, but like doing 3 or 4 resets, that takes like an hour. So you're probably not going to be doing any more than that. And by the time you're doing that, you probably want to do other dungeons too. So cool. So that's Hadir Farm, the grey one. All right, cool. Bye.